Tia mauri ora, manawa tina, manawa tina, manawa toka, manawa toka. Tēnei hoki tō manawa ka tina, tēnei hoki tō manawa ka toka. Tēnei hoki tō manawa ka pautai aki, tēina noho tō manawa, e manawa ora he ora. Tuituru iti waka maua kia teina, teina. Ome ui e tāki e. Nau mai, hara mai, wakatau mai ki te rohi kai tahu. Ko aora ki te maunga, ko wai makariri te awa, ko take timu te waka, ko kai tahu te iwi, ko tahu pōtiki te tangata. Nau mai, hara mai. Ki te kēmu tuatahi o te piki o te maunga, teitei.
Well, kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai hana mai to Ototai here, Christchurch for Championship Sunday. A fantastic day here. We've got on the fourth day of competition of these 15 national associations that have merged here in Christchurch to see who will be the Temperzone Under-19 Boys National Softball Champion. Canterbury will take on Hutt Valley in the grand final here today for all the cookies in the cookie jar to see who will be that national champion. Joining me in the booth today, you already heard Bevan Martini with our great Mihi, ex-Black Sox junior Black Sox assistant coach as well. Also joining me in the booth is Carl McElroy, one of the stalwarts of softball here in the Canterbury Association. I'm Jason Gurus, aka Chopper. Kia ora e hoas. Is that a word?
Tēnā kōrua, tēnā koutou. E mihi atu nei. Nā mihi o te tauhau pahuta kawa. Yeah, Happy New Year to you all.
Thanks Chopper, thanks Bevan. Great to be here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Christchurch.
Fantastic day indeed. It'll be Canterbury out of the field first. Let me run through the defensive lineup for Canterbury for you. As Fergus Simcott, Connor Stanley and Boston Caxton over in the right field position. Hot corner in the infield is Kaimai O'Connell. Kumaroa is at shortstop, Flynn at second base, Horton, it's Jacob Horton, he'll be the starting first base, and Jaden Potts, watch out for him, I've been very impressed with that catcher this week. But Jacob Neal, the Iron Horse for Canterbury. The offensive lineup for Hutt Valley now. Well, they were powerhouse against Auckland in the semi-final this morning. They haven't changed the lineup. It'll be Shaw, Wallace, Kennedy, McCarroll and Esope, 1, 2, 3 and 4. That's not where the hitting finishes. Brooklyn DeCarl will be hitting in the 5 spot. The left fielder, Keenan Esope, Jackson Baldwin, Thompson Tukapua, and Lincoln Foley rounds out the batting order. He'll be hitting for the pitcher, Jaden Heta. Top to bottom, two great lineups. Carl, your thoughts on what we're going to see in the grand final today?
Well, if the last two games between these two sides is anything to go by, it's probably going to be quite a close one. In the early semi-final, in the top 6 shootout, or top 3 shootout, actually was 1-0 to Canterbury, and then they met later yesterday evening, and that was a 3-1 win to Canterbury as well. So solid pitchings on both sides. It's whether or not the sticks have come to play.
That's the big question, Beaver. Canterbury beats. Just turn out an ambient mic for you. There's a bit of banging going on down there. Canterbury beat Hutt Valley twice yesterday Can Hutt Valley change the table?
Ai tika, e tino paina kai rākau I tēnei ata. You know, they came with their bats this morning and they've done outstandingly well. So we're into a great Kemu right here.
Well, here we go. First pitch and first stroke of the ball goes over the top of the left fielder, Simcoe. And on his haunches, it is the table setter, Zah Shaw-Wallace.
Ai, piwai waka maui. Tino pai te patu te poro a Zah.
Just a straight ambush first pitch there. Getting a nice piece off Jacob Neal. Straight over the head of the left fielder. So standing up at second base. Zah.
We'll bring up the bat now. The first baseman, Josh Kennedy.
Yeah, Josh Kennedy's had a pretty tidy week. Hitting 391 for the Hutt Valley side.
Gets on the first pitch, looking for a jet plane. Is it going? Is it going? She is out of here in any language you like. Josh Kennedy took about an ambush first pitch for Shaw-Wallace. Kennedy blasted out of the park. They lead the ball game 2 runs to nil.
Ai, tāwhiti nui, tāwhiti ro, tāwhiti pāo, mau, mau.
Yeah, Neil with 2 close pitches there, and they both got the treatment. So Josh Kennedy with a massive piece over right field. Perfect start for Hutt Valley.
Wow, we're talking about trying to get off to a hot start. I don't know if there is even anything that's even hotter. We'll find out next though with George McCarroll, the shortstop for Hutt Valley.
Seems to be the game plan for Hutt Valley. Not taking too many pitches. They're going right at him straight away.
Up, up. Okay, tahi. Nei, poi tahi. Hau kai tahi. Ka pai te kai hopu a Jaden. Te tinana. Te poro. So well done, Jaden. Getting right, blocking that ball.
Jacob Neal, the starting pitcher here for Canterbury. He's been the iron horse this week, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely, Chop. He's thrown a lot of innings, 37 in fact.
Wow. With that amount of innings logged, what type of statistics has he got, Carl?
Well, pretty handy. I think any coach will take it. Only ERA 1.67. So, you know, that's why his team's here.
His hand right up indeed for Canterbury. This one inside just misses McCarroll.
Poi toru. Hau kai tahi.
3 balls and 1 strike. Great to have you along here with Softball New Zealand. And of course, Whakaato Māori's YouTube platform, Māori Active. Tēnā koutou katoa to you. To the Kimu Poiuka. That one pops up. Regulation for Flynn at second base. We'll make that over in time for the first out here on the top of the first innings.
We'll put that.
That should settle the nerves a little bit for the Canterbury side after the start that they've had. Just a nice wee ground out to second base.
Ai, kua tai mai nei, te kai rākau, a Lennox Easto.
The big guy, the big right fielder for Hutt Valley. Plenty of pop in his bat for sure.
Absolutely. Anything to go by on the last few hitters. These Hutt Valley players can certainly hit the ball. The team's been smashing it all week. Lennox, in fact, he's near on 500 actually.
500 batting average. I've seen 2 of his home runs. Don't know what his total tally is this week, but the power is right there.
Poi tahi, hau kai tahi. Ai, kia tūpato a Jacob. Te kai rākau a Lennox. Be careful, don't need to go close.
Ground ball. Hot corner. Nice play.
Ai, ka pai te hopu o te Kai papatahi Jacob Horton. No pai te ringa.
Yeah, nice grab there by Kamai over at third base. Gets the second out of the innings. A few changes for the Canterbury side in their preparation. Actually, they had a couple of guys out injured when their campaign got underway in the lead up to the tournament, and then had another one go down with COVID.
Well, that's a good question, because Carl, you've been involved with coaching down here for quite a while after your playing career finished. When you get to a national championship like this, especially at home, how do you adjust losing arguably a couple of your star players?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I probably haven't had to go through it myself, actually, fortunately, but it's really how the team comes together and makes the most of their opportunities.
Tūraki wawata te kai rākau a Brooklyn. Poitahi, aukai tahi, kua puta e rua. Poro ki raro.
Brooklyn to Kawa. Had a home run yesterday that I don't think it's even landed yet.
He's part of a strong middle order hitting lineup for the Hutt Valley side.
Jacob Neal. High in the count here. 3 balls and 1 strike. I think he's happy to just get past the first pitch, to be fair, after the first 2 batters, that's for sure.
Yeah, Jacob's not one that shows too much emotion on the pitching mound. He just wants the ball. We'll throw all day for you.
Nice pitch on the outside edge here. That'll fill up the count now, 3-2.
Ai, whare tatau.
He's definitely put his hand up for Canterbury this weekend, hasn't he?
Ai, he toka tōmo ana Jacob Neely ki te tīma o Waitaha. You know, he's been the solid rock for them in the middle for Canterbury.
And the outside edge is good, and he sits down the dangerous Takawa. So after back-to-back hits, the big shot from Kennedy, he retires 3 in order. That'll do the top of the first innings. We'll be back with more action here live from Ototai. It is Dynasty Ballpark for the Temperzone Under-19 Boys Championship. Welcome back. Bottom of the first innings here. Hutt Valley strike for 2 on the top. Let's have a look at the Hutt Valley defensive lineup now. Takawa, Tukapua and East Hope left to right in the outfield. Baldwin gets a start in the hot corner. McCarroll, Keenan East Hope's the second baseman. Kennedy, the home run hitter, he's over at first base. Shaw Wallace, the leadoff hitter, he's behind the dish. And Jaden Hita will get the double start. He started against Auckland this morning. We'll get the start here in the 2023 Grand Final. Canterbury's offensive lineup: Kumaroa, Kenton, Potts, Neal. That one comes down.
Hey. Poitahi.
Stanley, Horton, Barbarich, O'Connell and Flynn. Designated player is Nico Barbarich. Sharply hit ball. Tracking underneath it, having to go a long way back is the left fielder Takawa. Kumaroa just off that one.
Right. E tino pai. Te patu te poro. A hapene.
Just for those keeping score at home, Jason Kumaroa's athletes out there, the designated player Barbarich is hitting for the left fielder Fergus Simcott. First pitch. Long way to go, it'll go in foul territory.
E apa.
Here, upper, foul. On Boston, Kenton.
Yeah, Boston, number 2 in the hitting order for Canterbury most of the week. Young player out of the Richmond club, I believe.
E apa.
Canterbury side showing something a little bit different there. It's probably been their go-to with their short game this week. Getting guys on, moving them around.
Effort pitch above the zone.
Poitahi. Hukairua. Ko puta kotahi.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the first innings. Patient at bat from Canton.
E pa māminga. Ki raro I te papatua nuku. Change up in the dirt.
And Jaden Hutt moved to the Hutt Valley region season and a half ago. And a good pitch on the outside edge gets him.
E tū teko ana. Ho ke tapai.
A fantastic umpiring crew in the grand final. They've been doing a great job all week. Casey Smith gets the honour behind the dish. Heath Little down at first base and Sam Michael will be officiating at third. First pitch. Canterbury aggressive as well. This one's grounded out to Baldwin at third base. So it's a 1-2-3 innings. We're through 1 complete. Hutt Valley, they lead the grand final 2-0. Welcome back, top of the second innings here. Hutt Valley, they've had an exciting time at the Under-19 Boys National Championship through their round robin. They were undefeated, as you can see there, maximum points. Then they got to the top seeds in Division J and they finished top of the shop. However, they did lose a tiebreaker loss to Canterbury there earlier. So they played really well. They had to come back through the back door after Canterbury beat them twice yesterday and then beat Auckland this morning. Can they change the tyres we talked about at the beginning of the shop? Well, I'll hand it over to one of their surprise offensive stars this week in Keenan Easthope.
Ngai, he tino pai te kai rākau a Keenan e tū ana ki te tima o te awa Kairangi. He stood up for Hutt Valley today, this week.
Yeah, has he ever Keenan, he's hitting 550 for the week, but even more impressive, on base percentage 682.
Jengos, almost sounds like the house prices in that suburb you live in. Well, I wish it was house price actually. This one's high. But either way, it's impressive what Keenan, East Up second baseman for Hutt Valley's done this week.
Poirua, aukai tahi.
2 balls and 1 strike here. Kumaro, shortstop for Canterbury. He's ready.
Poitori. Aukai tahi.
I noticed the shortstop, we obviously know his father, Harpenny, he's sprouting right up. Where do you think he's getting that height from, Beaver?
Oh, kore tana papa, JK. Me tana mama.
Aye. Gotta be his mum. Good pitch from Jacob Neal. Carl, you know Jacob Neal better than us two, to be fair. You obviously see him playing here on the regular. What's his go-to?
Does like to throw the low lifter drop ball. But I have seen a bit more change this week actually out of Jacob. Something that he's been working on.
Reaches out, I tell you what. He's got a bionic glove as well. Fantastic stat.
Can't beat a fielding pitcher. Does play a little bit on the hot corner at third base, sort of in recent years, but more so at home on the pitching mound.
What club side does he play for, Carl?
Jacobs with RKS.
Oh, yep.
RKS.
Panisi.
Yep. So Panisi and Jacob share the pitching duties for them.
What a great person to learn from.
Absolutely.
Panisi Isefo. Or just back, I'm going to say round about 2004.
Yeah, but
Isefo won the up-and-comer player of the year for Softball New Zealand. It's hot in here.
Yeah, and he's come through the systems, as a junior in the junior Black Sox, and then went on to represent in the senior team, Panisi, and great to see him here this week coaching the Canterbury development team.
Swinging over the top of that one.
So even got a son out there this week playing for the I think it's the development side, or no, he's actually, I think he got even brought into the
top side.
The top side this week.
Yeah, I did hear that. Young Cairo, Isefo, so we're watching out for him. Is he a pitcher as well?
No, I don't believe so. No.
Can't have everything. As long as he's got his dad's hitting, we'll be fine.
I did see him catching to the old man in a Prems game just a few weeks ago, actually.
Gotta love that. Jackson Baldwin now, 2 balls and 2 strikes on him. Catches him on the front foot. And Neil has just settled right down after those first 2 batters, hasn't he?
Ka pai te hopu Jaden Potts. Well done, Jaden Potts on the old change up in the dirt.
Yeah, nice pitch from Jacob. Jaden's come on the last couple of years. Young Potts, he's got a starting spot in the PCU side down here in Christchurch, and doing more and more catching. Got a few opportunities when Cam Watts was involved with the Black Sox.
Fantastic. Thompson Tukapua. He'll take the first pitch and punch it through the 5-6 hole.
Right. Tāne mahuta Maui. Thompson.
Hutt Valley have found success if they've gone attacked early in the count, haven't they? I think that's got to be the MO for them against Jacob Neal, because he's just going to pull them in there.
Yeah, and it'll be good to see Jacob. He's been throwing the change-up later in the count than when he's ahead. And probably just to offset these Hutt Valley hitters, he probably just needs to throw that change a bit earlier in the count, and just keep them off the hot stuff that's coming down.
Jacob Lincoln Foley, the designated player, hitting for the pitcher Hutt. First pitch for him is up and above the zone. Lincoln, I believe one of the young junior development New Zealand squad members at the moment. Just did a tour through the country, or the North Island anyway, before Christmas. Fantastic present to see those athletes battling it out on the field.
Wera.
And he is gone.
Ai, kua puta.
Stone cold Steve Austin. I'll tell you what, you talked a little bit about Jaden Potts. He threw it down like a seed.
Ai. Keke ana ta haere. Te poro went down there like a rocket.
Sure did indeed. And that'll do us through 1.5 here. Hutt Valley leading the grand final of the Temperzone Under-19 Boys Championship. 2-0.
Your ideas, your plans, your vision for your dream home. At Golden Homes, we work with you to create a home you'll love living in. With total design flexibility, our exclusive gold standard building system and Zog steel framing proven to withstand magnitude 9 earthquake activity, your new Golden Home will have all the strength, comfort and sophistication you've been dreaming of.
It's a better home, your own. Golden Homes.
Golden Homes. Call 0800 22 22 36.
What's he up to now?
Probably working on his career.
Oh. What are you up to, Matai?
Reversing.
Have you got your ticket?
Yep. I start a new job driving a forklift on Monday.
I thought you worked in an office.
Don't limit yourself, Brian. It's never too late to make smarter choices.
Robin. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Bottom of the second innings. Canterbury trailing by 2, but they'll send up the pitcher, Jacob Neal. Centre fielder, Connor Stanley, and first baseman, Jacob Horton. 1, 2, 3 here for the Cantabs. Looking to get something going against Jaden Hita. Starter for
Poirua.
Hutt Valley.
2 balls.
Perfect start so far for Neal.
Poirua. Hukai tahi.
Slides that one on there. 2-1 now. Hita leans back. That one comes off the glove of Shaw Wallace. One thing dear to your heart, Bevan, is a long-time catcher for the Golden Homes New Zealand Black Sox. What's your thoughts of the catching stock you've seen on display here from the 15 associations in attendance in Christchurch?
It hasn't been too bad actually, across the board, especially, you know, at their age, and it's good to see that when you look at the provinces around, they got some good quality guys behind the dish, which is helpful for any province to go moving forward and going up and turning up to the men's comp and those sorts of things, because it would be great to see 15 teams turn up to a men's NPC.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Fantastic indeed. As we see Neil getting the job done here. Carl, I noticed just after the walk with a little bit of a stare down as he went to first base to the pitcher. Is that something common?
Yeah, look, he's not afraid to...
Ground ball.
He won't take it back a step
Through
anyway.
the 5-6 hole. Gets under the glove. They'll go station to station here, Canterbury. Perfect start.
Right, Tane mahuta maui, a kona.
Connor Stanley with that drive.
Bit of unorthodox stuff there by JK, you know, a bit of hit and run. Instead of trying to put the bunt down, you know, the Hutt Valley played up and the shortstop played across and hit in the 5-6 hole. Great to see. Tūraki wawata, te kairako wa Horton.
Jacob Horton, first baseman. Loves to swing it, that's for sure.
Yeah, so you've got some different options here with a left-hander at the box, none down, runners 1 and 2.
Yeah, but Hokairua.
Canterbury in this situations with no outs. 2 strikes on them here. Maybe the options are slightly limited. The objective doesn't change. Get him across. How about get him in? This is in the corner. Could be trouble with a capital T. One's in. Here comes 2. We got ourselves a tied ball game. 2-run apiece in the bottom of the second innings.
E tino pai te patu a Horton. Ki te tānei mahuta Maui.
Yeah, fantastic line drive right out into the corner of right field. But even better was how quick the right fielder got to that ball and got it back in on the fly to the infield. Holds him up at third base.
Nico Barbarich now looking to continue the action. He goes to the first pitch. It's up high and it's in trouble. The ball comes in to the line of sight of the sun and becomes uncatchable for the shortstop McCarroll, and they've now got 2 runners in scoring position. Canterbury no outs here in the bottom of the second innings. After scoring 2, this is their big chance, isn't it?
Ai, tika, chopper, tō kōrero. Ai, te wā, ka hara mai a fingers ki te pātai o ki te kōrero. Kia tau, just settle down here, none outs.
Well, big opportunity now for Kai Mai O'Connell, third baseman for Canterbury. He goes at the first pitch too. If this drops it might be in. What a dive from Eastope, the left fielder. That's in foul territory though.
Ai, tino tatata hopu, very close to catching that. But maybe in the situation, like you look at there, you got a runner on third and it's tied up 2-2 and he's diving to make a catch there. As soon as he catches it, obviously that runner's going to come in and score. So this might work out better for Hutt Valley in regards
absolutely.
to not catching it.
Yeah, absolutely, Bevan. He would have scored on that.
Oh, tino tata.
Very close indeed. Tata. O'Connell, poised and steady. Rewarded with a level count now. Hitter leans back. 2 runners in scoring position. Big contingent here watching the grand final. All the teams have finished on the outer diamonds. They've all come to watch, and so have the locals. Fantastic to see on a beautiful championship Sunday.
Poirua, hau kai tahi. He pakiro ngā poitoru, hau kai tahi.
3-1 here, as signalled by home plate umpire Smeeks.
Great hitting count. You got runners in scoring position.
And he gets it hard. He drives it. It's in the gap too. It'll plate 2 with ease. Where will he end up? That's the question. Going for 3. A slide in head first. A big moment in the ball game for Kai Mai O'Connell. He doubles the score. They lead by 2 now. Canterbury 4-2.
E tino pai te patu e te pōro a ka mai ki te rohe o Maui. Matau.
And that'll bring out the head coach for Hutt Valley, Grant McCarroll, as you affectionately call him, Fingers. And I think you'll see potentially a pitching change here. Their ace pitcher is at right field at the moment. Lennox Eastope stretching out there. Jaden Hitter through the early semi-final against Auckland did a fantastic job there. To be fair, he was backed up by quite a few runs from Hutt Valley. Canterbury have answered right back, haven't they?
It's going to be interesting because Lennox is going to come in from right field and
I think the move we're actually seeing here is a replacement fielder for him to come and warm up by the looks, Bevan.
yeah, he's going to have to because that 5 pitches won't be enough for him to come in and to start. So he's going to have to go down. Obviously, they're going to chew as much time out as they can for him to get out the back and warm up. But, you know, kore puta, there's no outs.
So replacement player for Eastope at right field is Taikaha Wilson. Hutt Valley will have to go back to work here against these hot bat. 4 hits in a row for Canterbury after the lead-off walk to Jacob Neal. And Joey Flynn swings at the first pitch, goes back to the screen.
Right. He Tana Papa, you know, is an outstanding softball too, his father. And an outstanding halfback for Canterbury, this young man. So, old Joey. Tahi me te tahi.
1-1 count. The son of the halfback. Tries to get the bunt down. Don't think it was a squeeze, maybe a safety squeeze.
Yeah.
As the base runner O'Connell at third wasn't that far off.
No, he hadn't committed to that one, the base runner. But none down, you've got all the options. You've got the squeeze, sack, fly, minimum. That's what you'd be asking of your hitter here.
Tries to push it out. Drop ball's better though from hitter on this particular case.
No, ke kita pai. A Joey, ka pai te pa Jaden.
Just what Hutt Valley needed. They needed an out, didn't they? Been through 5 batters without one. But now they're back to the top of the shop for Canterbury. Hapene Kumaroa. Big swing from Kumaroa. That'll go foul. 1-1 now.
So Kumaroa, lead-off hitter, had a good week, plenty of contact. Not a massive batting average this week for him, but more importantly, on-base percentage is your lead-off. He's been getting on base for his hitters.
Table setter. This one, looking to drive it up the middle. McCarroll's got it though. Hot box. They'll get him coming home. Shortstop from Hutt Valley played that perfectly.
E tino pai George Karawe. E tino koi. Great play right there.
Perfectly executed by the Hutt Valley defence. Eyes on the runner, went at him, cut down his options to go back to third or out at home. So runner did the right thing. He had already committed. He had to go home. Even if he tried to get in that hot box a little bit longer to give his hitter a bit more time to get round to second base.
And you look at that play, George done an outstanding job. You know, he didn't make the throw. He just took the ball and went straight at the runner, and the runner made the decision to make an easier throw. It was a great play.
Boston Canton now. Reactional grab from Hitter. He'll get the job done. So after the chat, bringing the other pitcher off to warm up, Hitter says, no, that's enough, boys. I'll take care of the next 3. But not before. It is Canterbury. They strike hard and they strike well on the back of Horton and O'Connell, both of them with triples and both of them with 2 RBIs. They score 4 here in the bottom of the second, leading 4 runs to 2.
Never take time to worry about life. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Know that you are right. There's a world to behold. Another day you will grow old. So take time with the ones you love. Take time with the ones you love.
Top of the third innings, it'll be Lincoln Foley, the designated player, Shaw Wallace, the catcher, and Josh Kennedy, the first baseman. 1, 2, 3 here for Hutt Valley. Let's have a look at Canterbury's road through the tournament thus far. Round robin section, they were impressive. Undefeated, as you can see there. Some hefty scores, a tight one against North Harbour, 4 runs to 2. But otherwise, they took care of business. In the major playoff section, Division J, Canterbury, they were efficient as well. You can see there they had a real tight one against Hutt Valley, but a victory. A real tight one against Auckland. Auckland played out of their skin yesterday. That sees them straight to the grand final today after beating Hutt Valley last night on the 1v2 game. And now they've got a 2-run lead here at the top of the third innings of the grand final. Foley with a running stroke.
Kairua.
In the hole. That's one thing I've noticed. I mean, there's not a heck of a lot of left-handers at the tournament this week that I've noticed, but I haven't seen too many alternative defensive patterns against them. And you probably don't need one when you've got Jacob Neal on the mound, as he'll just throw it on the outside and takes him down on strikes. Third strikeout of the day for Neal. Back to the top of the shop, Zarshaw Wallace, 3 from 4 in the semi-final, 4 RBIs.
Right. He tino wera te kairaka. He's running hard at the moment, isn't he?
Zar's having a good week. Yep, hitting 400 in the leadoff spot.
Pulls that one. And forces the throw. Pulls the first baseman, Horton, off it. And just as you mentioned earlier, getting on base is the key to his game.
Yeah, good speed from Zar. Forces the error. Puts a bit of pressure on the defence.
Running catcher is Shaw Wallace as well. Josh Kennedy had the big blow back in the first innings. Jacked it out of here over the right field fence. Towering shot.
Just on that, going back to that play, that ground ball to Harpenny, probably just a double pump. We probably haven't seen that all week from Harpenny, where he's usually just fielded the ball and come up throwing. You know, double pump there, put a bit more pressure on him to make the throw and just threw it away from the first baseman.
Beautiful day here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch, 20 degrees Celsius and barely a cloud in the sky. Contrast from the first 3 days. Not so much around temperature because it's been quite warm except for day 3. But there was a bit of cloud and definitely a bit of wind blowing into the face. It still is there, but there's nothing really. It's a gentle zephyr. Well, for the Hutt Valleyans who live in the Wellington region, it's nothing. Kennedy taking a pitch.
Right. Yeah, but Maminga. Change up there. Koirua, au kai tahi, ko puta, ko tahi.
2 balls, 1 strike here. 1 away, 1 runner on. Picture perfect here from Neal. Is it me or does Jacob Neal get better the longer he goes in a game?
Oh, you know, you look yesterday, 3 games on the trot. You know, what is he, 21 innings?
Yeah, just in the one day.
I got a sore back just watching it.
Takes you back to the days of ka pai te pa Maminga. Hai, hoki ki ta pai. Josh Kennedy, great comeback there, great fight. You know, his first at bat, he stuck him out, he come back in and struck him out. So, great work. You know, you haven't seen that sort of style of pitching before in regards to you've got the ball, where you go, carry on, keep going, get us through this tournament, get us through this day. Where, you know, we're going back to Chubb Tangaroa and Walford and Alfie and those types of guys where they were the only ones in the team and you got the ball. Let's go. That's great to see.
Yeah, it gives the defence a lot of confidence, doesn't it? When you've got a guy, a workhorse on the mound that's just prepared to go at them all day, not phased. Throws plenty of strikes. It's probably been the more impressive thing about Jacob, throwing plenty of strikes. Not giving up the free bases.
George McCarroll grounded out to second base in the first innings. Bounces this one, gets it over the top. Looking to go coast to coast. The slide inside. And he is safe. Replacement runner to Josh Kennedy came on for the catcher, Shaw Wallace, and didn't muck around at the first opportunity he got.
Very aggressive base running right there. You know, as you teach your own team or teams as you're coaching not to be the third out at third, and you know that ball wasn't that deep into left field and he was going all the way, so great aggressive base running.
Just like that, in the blink of an eye, Hutt Valley with 2 runners in scoring position, only trailing by 2. And up comes their big bopper, Lennox Easthite. Obviously re-entered into the ball game. Was playing at right field, got substituted out to warm up the pitch.
I think he's become the DP or the flexi as Lincoln's gone in. I've just switched, I think.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We know he's up to bat now anyway. Pulls this one down the line.
So the beauty of that aggressive base running into third is that it puts another runner in scoring position at second and your 4-hitter up.
Bit of protection here for Easthite with Brooklyn Takawa hitting behind him. So not an automatic 4-ball walk. 2 away here. I'll tell you what, Jacob Neal's not the type of pitcher want to walk anyone anyway.
And I think what you need to see here, especially from Lennox, you know, in probably the games that they've played over the last 2 days, Jacob's done outstandingly well against Lennox. He's got a head of the count and he's come back with the change and he's struck him out majority of the time. You know, I think if Lennox has been in trouble, so what Lennox needs to understand is make those adjustments for himself to help him out to understand that they could come back with the change up when I get behind.
Yeah, throwing early strikes, it dictates that bat as a pitcher a lot more, doesn't it?
Battle resumes. 1 ball, 2 strikes here. 2 away. 2 ducks on the pond. Neal versus Easthite. Change up.
Here it is.
Just sails over the top of the strike zone.
Yeah, that was close. Really close, especially on the 3rd strike.
Didn't even see Easthite flinch there. Got him good. Do they go back to back? What does Jaden Potts call behind the dish? Tries a quick one. It's loose. Hutt Valley head first slide, but he's out. He is out at the plate.
Tēnō pai. Great hustle there from Jaden to get back to the screen, but even more importantly for Jacob to get off that mound and get in there at home plate to catch that ball. And if the ball wasn't thrown down there where the guy sliding in, I don't think they would have gotten out.
Yeah, the flick back from the net on the money gets his team out of a jam there with some tidy defence.
Bang, bang, play at the plate. It's all action here in the Temperzone Under 19 Boys Championship. Canterbury leading 4 runs to 2. Canterbury have come to play here in the grand final. We saw Hutt Valley being aggressive to start this grand final. Canterbury have taken a leaf out of the book as the first pitch.
That's the second pitch that he's seen in the batter's box. The first one, first at bat, he swung at that, grounded out, comes up there. But how many times you see it though, Chopper? You know, great play happens from someone and then comes up and gets your team rolling.
Punt attempt goes foul.
Well put up. Good by Zart. Good hustle out of the box there. Made a great play. Good catch in foul ball territory.
Does indeed. Finds it. One away here. Able to get the sacrifice down. They'll bring up the bat now. Connor Stanley.
Good hit out to left field last time up. Just going back to Potts' hit, that's his bread and butter. Hitting in that 8-9 gap. Not massive power, but just drives the ball, contact hitter.
And Bevan Martini, you were dead right with Taikaha Wilson staying in the field. This one's up. Has it got a chance? It's going back. It's going back. Oh, baby. It is out of here.
Neira. Tāwhitiro, tāwhitinui, tāwhiti, pāo, mao, mao.
A big shot here in the grand final in the bottom of the third innings. Connor Stanley puts it on a jet plane and sails it out on a Zephyr. A 2-run shot here. They lead by 4.
The Canterbury boys have bought their bats for the final. Good to see. Good close contest. We'll see if Hutt Valley's going to make a change or not. I'd say there will be.
Looks like a couple of batters too long here for Jaden Hita. They had to give enough time for Lennox Eastham to warm up when we had to bat in the last innings, so couldn't keep on warming up. He's now ready to go. The big number 20 will come out. This pitching change brought to you by Ballpark Broadcasting.
And what you got here is Lennox has got to come in, and this is all that Canterbury have to score. You know, he can't let them carry on and get any more runs and get behind. His job is to come in here, shut them down, keep them at 6 for his team to come in and score some runs.
Yeah, absolutely. We know the Hutt Valley team can score runs. They've been doing it all week. Collectively as a team, everyone's hitting the ball well. Just a matter of shutting down the Canterbury bats. And Lennox is reasonably fresh on the mound too. He's only thrown 12, 13 odd innings for the week, so should be good to go.
And we go back to that play, you know, like they get that out. Hutt Valley would have scored a run there on that pass ball, but Potts has made the play at home plate with Jacob. Then Potts has come up and he, like you say, you know, he's hit into his alley that he does, into that, you know, centre right, just punches it over the infield, and then with him being on base gives those guys like Jacob and Connor, you know, and Horton and Nico to come up and drive him in.
Yeah,
he's done an outstanding job.
He's your spark, isn't he?
Yeah.
As a catcher, the real energizer, gets his team up.
Bottom of the third innings, pitching change. Lennox Eastside with his first delivery. It's down low.
Poitahi.
We're taking on Jacob Horton, first baseman. Rocked a triple off Hita back in the second innings. Laid 2 runs off that shot. Bases are empty this time.
Kia tau Lennox, he just got to settle and come in and throw strikes.
A little bit more velocity out of the right arm of East Hope.
Tahi me te tahi. Ko puta ko tahi.
Hard hit ball. Is it back to back? And just in front of the fence, a fine catch taken out there by Takawa. Oh boy, Canterbury have got some confidence in the batter's box, that's for sure.
And he just missed that one, Horton. At left field, he was sitting under that for a wee while, trying to get a good read on it, because that's right into the sun.
Poitahi.
Nico Barbridge was a recipient of a favour of the sun. back in the second innings, one that popped up the shortstop. Not caught in the glare.
Koi tahi, hau koi tahi, ko puta I rua.
That diamond glare probably isn't one thing that you're going to have to worry about too much longer on this diamond. Getting a bit of a makeover.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about that earlier today. It was just fantastic. You hear about the development. Frisbee, rise ball's good, and Isope walks off with a little bit of authority there. Comes in and gets rid of the first two batters that he faced. Pitching change works. We'll find out whether that's going to be a spur Hutt Valley back into the offensive action. They trail 6-2. It's Canterbury leading the grand final at the Temperzone Under 19 Boys Championship.
They say your home is where your heart is. I know my home is here with you. There's a world to behold. It's a better home you own with golden homes.
The picture postcard day. Good day to take the gondola up the Port Hills, that's for sure, here in Christchurch, Otautahi. A backdrop for the 2023 Temperzone Under 19 Boys Softball Championship. I'm Jason Kirby's AK Chopper. Joining me in the booth, Bevan Martini and Carl McElroy. Carl, almost halfway through this grand final, mate. What's been your impression so far?
Probably the hitting, really, from both sides. I've seen that Hutt Valley's been able to hit all week. Probably not quite the same calibre Canterbury with the offence, but defensively they've been tidy and deserved finalists, both of them.
Jacob Neal will continue. It was Lennox Isope that was in the batter's box on that pass ball. They tagged out Kennedy trying to slide home, so we'll get a new fresh at bat here. Does Isope. That one comes through. Levels the count now, 1-1. Top of the fourth innings. Balancing point here. Hutt Valley struck for 2 runs in the top of the first on the first two batters. Drive to left field and then a blast from Kennedy over the right field fence. But it's been Canterbury ever since. 4 in the second, 2 in the third. Gives us our scoreline 6-2 at this point.
Oi rua, au kai rua.
Quality at bat from Isope required here. You can just see with a couple of those swings from Isope, he's got that change up at the back of his mind, doesn't he?
Yeah, and that's what happens, you know, early on. It's helped Jacob and Jaden Potts out, you know, in regards to striking him out. I think got 5 strikeouts now yesterday. And that's what happens, keeps him off being charged and ready to go.
There's the change up. That's down.
Tēnō tata, ai, ki raro.
Yeah, keeping that hitter off balanced. He's sort of holding that hands back, checking himself for that change. But that's the point of it, isn't it? You know, the battery putting that doubt in the hitter's mind.
Full count.
Made the adjustment.
Oh, Kikita Pai.
And he gets him.
Lennox.
Jacob Neal has worked out the puzzle, hasn't he?
And they've done a fantastic job, Jaden Potts and Jacob Neal, in regards to keeping Lennox under control, really. You know, he's very powerful hitter. 5
strikeouts on the day for Neal now. Brooklyn Nakawa, strikeout victim back in the first innings. You can hear a bit of that wind on the ambient mic. It's not from the power of the swing of Takawa. It is powerful though. Just a little bit of breeze down at ground level.
Right, tūraki wawata Brooklyn.
We're going to see the change.
Pulls that one back.
Yep, but
Hutt Valley have hit a hit in every innings. 4 in total so far. Exact change of pace.
Ai, e pa maminga ki te papatua nuku. Poirua, hai kairua. Ko puta, ko tai.
Neil leans back. Here comes the 2-2. Rise ball's good.
Ai, hoki ki te pai Brooklyn.
Back-to-back strikeouts. 6 on the day now.
And he settled really, and you know, he's done outstandingly well from that first innings. And Jacob, he's settled back into his rhythm. Yeah, he's a bit shell-shocked there in the first 2 hitters. He's come back in and done a great job settling in.
Yeah, absolutely. Bevan hasn't been rattled by it at all. Slight change, probably of the game plan. You know, experienced coaches had a bit of a chat to the battery about what adjustments they need to do.
Kennedy Soap now.
Poirua.
I'm told one of the pitching advisors for this under-19 team is young Jaden's older brother, Liam, who's got COVID, watching on the live stream, giving his pitching tips or strategies. I hope you're starting to feel better, Liam. I'm sure with the scoreline at 6-2 in the grand final, top of the 4 things to your home team, Canterbury, this make you feel just that little bit better. Kennedy Soap.
He pai te pa. Toru me te tai.
Works himself into a hitter's count now. 3 balls and 1 strike.
Keenan's been their go-to guy all week. Good average, 550.
Rise ball outside.
Hikoi.
Down to first base.
Aere ki te papatahi.
Hutt Valley needing the tail to wag here. I'll hand it over to Jackson Baldwin.
It was Jacob's first walk of the ball game.
Poitahi.
Yeah, good point, Carl. That walk issued to East Hope is the first one that he's issued so far. 6 strikeouts, 4 hits, 2 runs. Stat line not too bad. Hutt Valley need to score some runs here though, don't they, Beaver?
Ai, te awa kairangi. Ka patua te poro. Ka oma tere ke huri rauna o te papa. Ai, ka pai.
Pitch. Just sits and curves and stays on that inside edge. Something I've noticed about Neil, location's not bad, the ability to control the ball.
Well, he's had a fair chunk of the pitching time for his club side, actually, locally, Chop. probably pitching a little bit more than Panisi.
Good play by the shortstop for Canterbury. Kumaroa takes care of that one. That's bread and butter for him. No chance for Hutt Valley to try and bite into this 4-run lead that Canterbury have here in the 2023 Temperzone Under-19 Boys Championship.
They say your home is where your heart is. I know my home is here with you. There's a world to behold.
Must not have been ready. Back to the action here. Christchurch leading by 4. At the bottom of the 4th innings, Lennox Esoap, relief pitcher, came in halfway through the 3rd innings, retired 2 batters in a row. He continues now, this time facing Kaimai O'Connell.
Kamai had a great at-bat last time. Triple to the fence, stayed out in centre. Scored a couple of RBIs back in the 2nd.
Oh, big hit, big hit. The centre right alley. And more good contact. He'll head down to first base for these.
Ai, e tino pai te patu o Taporo, kei Wainganui. A Kamai.
A great start. Lead off job, hands back, drives it the other way. Doing the job for his team.
Joey Flynn now.
Poitahi.
Every time Canterbury's got a lead off a runner on, they've converted them. Let's see what the strategy is here. Kennedy playing in close at first base. There's 2 as Baldwin at 3, about halfway.
Foot on the throat here from Canterbury. Don't think 4's going to be enough in this game.
Poitahi. Ai koe rua.
Just kind of caught in 2 minds there on the bunt. Behind now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Esoap just coming straight at him. Game feels like it's just slowed down a tad here at the moment. Is that Canterbury slowing it down on purpose, or Hutt Valley trying to change the pace?
Well, they both like to play high tempo games, so I think it's just gone on a lull. The excitement, like you say, the excitement's gone out. The bats aren't, they aren't getting consistent hits to come in together like they did when they all both scored their runs.
Am I seeing that right? Has the wind changed out there, Carl? Is it blowing out now?
Don't know if you can tell. It's
No. This one goes back to the screen.
still coming in from the sea, probably an easterly. Typical breeze out here at Cuthbert's.
Right. Te tai a uru. Ki te rāwhiti.
Next bat, she gets but a quality at bat there from Flynn.
O ke ki te pai. Joey.
Going to bring up top of the shot now already in the 4th innings here for Hapene Kumiroa.
E pakirunga.
Really happy with, we talked a little bit earlier today, Carl, with the number of teams here in Christchurch for the National Championship. But also a chance to see a couple of associations we haven't seen in a long time, Nelson and Whanganui.
Yeah, I was thinking of that the other day when I saw the draw come out. 15 teams. When I coached a little bit of under-19s a few years ago, I think we were lucky to get 7 or 8. 15's impressive, so big ups to those associations that have really got their programs going. Whanganui, Manawatu, Franklin was a new one that I saw as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, fantastic for the game. Good exposure for these kids in the regions.
Kumiroa with the walk, heads down to first base, so 2 ducks on the pond here, just 1 away in the bottom of the 4th innings. I mentioned they've converted every time they've got a lead-off runner on prime position now with Boston Kenton to come up. Well, we're going to have some of those young men come and join us in the booth shortly. Someone from Whanganui and someone from Nelson. Bunt is up, and it's a double play, just what Hutt Valley needed.
Ai e tino pai. Te hupu a Lennox. Whiua ki te poro ki te papatahi. Ko puta. I whai aki nei e huri pao runga tuarima.
Well, that'll do us through 4 completed as Canterbury leading the grand final, 6 runs to 2.
Might be a catcher.
Well, plenty of action here in the 2023 edition of the Under-19 Temperzone Boys National Championship, hosted by the Canterbury Softball Association. Great to have you along for it on a beautiful championship Sunday here today. 20 plus degrees, I'll tell you, outside on the deck. It's got to be about 30 degrees. It's beautiful out there. Don't blame the patronage trying to sit on the deck. It's a little hard to see through them, people, but luckily we've got some good vision to help us get by. Hutt Valley struck first with 2 runs on the first 2 batters of the match. Then it's been Canterbury, 4 in the second, 2 in the third. In the 4th innings, 2 donuts from both teams. Feels like the game is back to an arm wrestle. As it'll be Tukupua, Foley and Shaw Wallace, 1, 2, 3 here for Hutt Valley.
It was always going to be hard to keep that tempo right from the get-go all the way through the innings, the way the boys were hitting it early in the game.
This one over the top.
Yeah, but
Bevan, we had a chance to talk in the last, the semi-final this morning about your impressions of the WBSC Men's World Cup in Auckland as a commentator, but also wanted to follow up on that. You as a player at 3 World Cups yourself with a hell of a lot of success. This one pops up. Can it get a no man's land? There is no man land when you've got Joey Flynn at second base. What a catch.
Pai te hopu. Joseph Flint.
Yeah, great read on that. Tracked it all the way back. Always going to be his until the right fielder overcalled him, but made some good ground on it.
Lincoln Foley now, left-handed specialist, steps in. Yeah, so where I was trying to go with that, Beaver, you've got to experience it from coaching juniors already, playing out yourself, and now the commentary booth. As you go forward in this campaign with the junior program to your World Cup potentially at the end of this year, does that help or hinder?
Oh, it definitely helps. You know, you're obviously seeing it from different points of view. You know, when you're playing, you're obviously in behind home plate and you can see what's out there. But when you're coaching, you see, you know, things that are happening out on the diamond. But obviously, you know, being in the booth and calling the game and sitting alongside other people and seeing a bigger picture and virtually having that bird's eye view opens all up. It's actually so you sort of see the game on a different perspective, Chopper. Where you're sort of out of it, but you're in it, if you know what I mean. You know, you being a commentator, you still feel part of the game. You're not sitting on the sidelines and looking, but you're still there because you still have to think and process things. You know, and you still got to be smart enough to see what's going to happen in the game prior to it and before it.
Yeah.
And plays. But yeah, it definitely helps, you know, seeing it from a different perspective, you know, and seeing it happen.
Bevan Martini, 3-time world champion with the Golden Homes Black Sox. If I remember correctly, was it 2000 or 2004, voted the player's player from that World Cup. Now involved giving back to the game through his coaching of the junior Black Sox. It was good friend and relation, Jared Martin, and just what the doctor ordered here for Foley is he gets one to come off the glove and give him a bit of time to get the first base.
Kapa, yeah, once again, just put the ball in plate, you know, and just to the side of Jacob where he had to go and reach it, and just off the glove, like you say.
I'm not a betting man or a scorer, Carl. I don't know how we'd score that one.
That's a tough one. You know, it's too hot to shortstop. As a lefty, it's just about a safe hit. He would have struggled to throw him out, I think, even if he got that.
I'll put it down as a safe hit. Like I said, I'm not a scorer or a betting man. What I do know, though, is that Shaw Wallace now.
No tino tata. Kapai te whiua, Jaden.
Yeah, I like to see that as a catch-up, keeping the runners honest. Already thrown out one in the game.
Poirua. Ko puta kotahi.
Oh, big swing underneath it.
Ne apa.
Drove in 4 RBIs in the semi-final this morning, did Shaw Wallace. I'm sure Coach McCarroll, Mumu and Wallace would love to see him add to that tally right here.
Tata.
Now's the time for Hutt Valley to claw a couple back. Top of 5. Right part of the order. Right count.
Kia mau, ko hopumu, te poro.
I tell you, we've seen some good fielding here this week, haven't we?
Nai tika, you know, there's been some outstanding plays, you know, whether they're diving plays or ground balls. They've got themselves dirty and come up and made some outstanding plays to get guys out.
Game changers, those ones. Also, you know, little momentum shifts. That's what they can do for their team.
Josh Kennedy goes at the first pitch. It's up underneath it, though. There's the left fielder, Simcott. So the Infield hit by Foley, it goes for nothing. Hutt Valley can't pick up a run here in the top of the 5th innings. We're not going to go away, we're going to stay with you. As I mentioned, we've got a young man coming in from Whanganui. We'll get him all wrapped up here with the headset, and then Beaver and I can find out what he's all about and what's going on and why Whanganui is doing so well with the resurgence of their softball in the region. Top of the 5th is done. It is 6 runs to 2 to Canterbury at this point. As I mentioned, a young man here, Nathan Proctor from Whanganui. Kia ora.
Kia ora.
Tēnā koe, ho, pia ana koe, no whē koe, ko wai koe. Who are you and where do you come from?
I'm Nathan Proctor. I'm from Wanganui, and yeah, I was born and raised in Wanganui.
Ko pai.
Fantastic. Catcher?
Yeah.
Well, you know you're sitting next to one of the great catchers for New Zealand.
Probably wasn't born when I was playing.
Well, here's your opportunity. If you ever got a chance to sit one-on-one with a New Zealand catcher, what question would you ask?
How long did it take for you to become the New Zealand catcher? Like how long did you train for that?
So for me, I came through the lower grades. I played third base, and then I moved into catcher probably at the under 16 level, and caught all the way through that, and come onto it. So I made the juniors in 1989, and then I didn't make the men's team until 93. Went away on a tour. So perseverance and a bit of resilience, but definitely a whole lot of hard work that goes with it. You know, you're going to have a sore hand.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have to do a few squats and be in a squat position for a long time. And, you know, you're going to lose a bit of speed, but, you know, it's a position that I love.
At the bottom of the 5th innings here, Jaden Potts, who just flew out the centre field, will be followed by Jacob O'Neill and Connor Stanley. Talk about hard work, mate. Tell us about the hard work happening in Whanganui, the resurgence of softball. What's happening over there? It's awesome.
Yeah, it's also recently, like last year, the men's competition just started up there again, and yeah, has a lot of young people and like past players come back and make clubs, and yeah, it's getting quite big there now, and this is like the first time Wanganui's had a team in reps for like a while now. Usually we just get picked up by other teams, usually one or two, but yeah, this year we had enough to put in under 19s, under 17s, under 19 girls. So yeah, there's a lot of things that a lot of people coming through that are keen to play reps and play at this high level.
Well, it's simply fantastic, isn't it, Bevan?
Yeah. So what club do you play for in Wanganui?
Athletic.
Oh yeah. So is are the Braves still going? Are they still there?
Yeah.
Is the Aces? I think it's the Aces.
Yeah.
They were Marist, I think. Yeah, with Eric Wilson
they
and
started up. Yeah.
that
Cool.
Aces.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Nathan Proctor here from Whanganui, joining us partway through the grand final. Nathan, to come away with Whanganui all the way to Christchurch to your first national championship as your own association, what has that meant to you, and what has this experience been like?
It's been a good experience, and I'm glad that I could represent Wanganui at this high level and play these top teams, and even if we don't get the results, it's still a good opportunity to play, and yeah, it's just a good experience overall.
And I think, you know, when you look at it, you had a coach who fell ill, but you had another guy that come in and stepped in. Now, not too many provinces can turn around and have a guy who umpired the final of the Men's World Cup and one of the elite umpires in the world to come in and stand on and coach and support you guys.
Yeah. He's a really good coach, and yeah, really, he's a good coach to have.
With Lance Brown, it is.
Fantastic indeed. As you see, hard hit ball by Neil up the middle. So one down, a runner on one here for Canterbury in the bottom of the 5th innings. Stanley will step in now. Mate, with all that hard work of the people in Whanganui that have helped you guys to get here, who would you like to thank?
I would like to thank the Wanganui Softball Association, my parents. For,
I was going to say, you better say your mother, boy.
And just everyone in the background that's been helping us here as well, and just training us back in Wanganui, and yeah, thank you for everyone for doing stuff.
Karawe, ka mihi ki a koutou ko, ko awa ko au te awa,
Yeah.
nā mihi ki anui, karawe.
Beautiful. I am the river is me. Fantastic. Great to have you here. Before you go, last question. We've had you for quite a while here, but it's just fantastic. We all felt it as soon as we saw your association here. What's one player that you've really admired playing here at the tournament? Or a team?
Probably Auckland, like one of the Auckland teams. Yeah, it's a good challenge to go and face one of like the top teams in the strong team. So it's good to go just play against them and just see how we do.
Oh, hard hit ball in the hot corner, and it works magic here for Connor Stanley. We've had Nathan Proctor here joining us from the Whanganui Softball Association and the under-19 team competing here at the Temperzone National Championships. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's fantastic to see you and your association. We cannot wait to see you again.
Thank you.
Kia ora hoa. Well, there you go. That's what softball's all about, ladies and gentlemen. Opportunities for our young rangatahi across Aotearoa, giving them the opportunity. Doesn't matter what country or what city or town or association you come from, you can be like Nathan Proctor and be at the national championships as well. Well, plenty of action happening out on the field here. Hit pitch, it's loaded bases now for Canterbury, and Jacob Halton, who's already had a triple and 2 RBIs in the match. That's a big shot to left field that was caught. So dangerous times here for Hutt Valley. Ground ball off the glove of the shortstop. They'll get 1 run. Canterbury keep on pouring petrol on the fire.
Ngai, ka pai te patu o te poro. Nico.
Another hard hit ball. That one in the 5-6 hole. Always a tough one for the shortstop. Couldn't nab an out. So pressure still on here. Loaded bags.
Nico Barbarich. So my apologies, that was Nico Barbarich before, was it?
Ai,
It was indeed. Just forgot to fill out my scorebook a little bit. Up to this part now, Kaimai O'Connell. 2 from 2 today. Right man for the job for sure. Bases still loaded, 2 down.
Ai. So they've continued to pour it on Waitaha. Potty come out and fly it out to 8, and then obviously with Jacob coming up, driving the ball back up the middle.
Hard hit ball through the 5-6 hole. This is trouble. 1, 2. And just like that, we've got ourselves a ball game. Bottom of the 5th innings. 2 runs coming in for Canterbury. It is a walk-off shot here for Kaimai O'Connell. Boy, oh boy, that's impressive to say the least, Carl.
Yeah, that one just snuck up on us, I think, Chopper. Big innings there from Canterbury, and he's probably been one of the standouts, I think, Kaimai, in this game. 3 from 3 with, I think, 4 or 5 RBIs. So, full credit to the Canterbury side. Commiserations for Hutt Valley. They've had a big week. Performed really, really well as well. Should hold their heads up high.
Beaver, that did catch us by surprise there. I mean, that's what Canterbury can do, can't they? Play the fundamentals, work together as a team, and have timely hits. And they've just snuck up on us, and they've taken the grand final 9 runs to 2.
Yeah, and you know, karawe, te kemu a Waitaha, he tino pai te patu a te poro, he tino pai te kaiepa a Jacob Neal. You know, that he's done an outstanding Jacob Neal to the start off. Hutt Valley come out, jumped out straight ahead to a 2-run nil. Right at the start, like Hutt Valley have done most of the tournament, and you know, Canterbury have stuck in there with Jacob. He's done an outstanding job to keep them at 2 runs, and what you see is the teams continue to come in and just drive the ball on the ground, get base runners on, and they've done an outstanding job in Karawe.
Well, they celebrate in front of their home fans, those Canterbury. And to be honest with you, they did it yesterday twice to Hutt Valley, and they've done it in the grand final. Worthy champions. Carl McElroy, I want to ask you, did you see this type of grand final coming out of Canterbury?
I probably didn't see 9 runs coming out of them, to be fair, against a quality Hutt Valley side. But, full credit to them. They've performed really well as a team. Collectively, they've all played a part. Good final all around, I thought. And with some quality pitching with Jacob Neal as well.
All right, I want to get both of your opinions on the Ballpark Broadcasting player of the grand final. We'll let you select them, and then we'll see if they match. It was an outstanding game. Hutt Valley, they started on fire. A lead-off hit to Shaw Wallace in the top of the first innings. Josh Kennedy, the first baseman, hits a home run over right field. They lead 2-0. Then the 3 up and 3 down against Canterbury in the bottom of the first innings. It almost looked like it was going to be Hutt Valley's day. Came the second innings, came the third innings, 4 in the second, 2 in the third, on the back of some big hits from Horton O'Connell and the home run from Connor Stanley. Then they saved the best to last. Carl McElroy, you said it, put your foot on the throat when you've got an opportunity, and Canterbury did that here in the bottom of the 5th innings. 3 runs to give them a margin by 7 to walk this one off in high fashion. Ballpark Broadcasting player of the match, you go first, Carl.
Probably the 8 hitter for me. Kamai O'Connell down at third base, fantastic game. 3 from 3 with the stick, but not only 3 from 3, it's bringing the RBIs. So when the ducks are on the pond, they've got to be scored, and he picked up 4 of those today.
Beaver, what's your thoughts?
Ai, tino tika te kōrero a kāo, Kamai Ho Perenara. Oh, that's a name from the past.
Oh,
O'Connell, he's been outstanding. He's probably one of those guys that Hutt Valley weren't too worried about, and we're more worried about the guys that hit from 1 to 6. But he's come in, and he's those guys above him have done their job. They've got on, and he's come up, and he's done outstanding hitting in this final to do what he's done. You expect Jacob to do his job. You expect Jaden Potts to do what he needs to do behind the dish. That's what the expectation of those guys you need to do. Harper need to field the ball. Connor Stanley to do what he needs to do. But he's a guy that's come out of the blue, that's put his name in the lights. Kamai, Karawe.
Karawe, indeed. A fantastic job done. You can see there, number 13, Kai Mai Oha. Perenara O'Connell is your Ballpark Broadcasting player of the grand final. 3 from 3 today, 4 RBIs. What a day. By the way, listen to this. 1 hit to right field, 1 hit to centre field, 1 hit to left field. He's the complete package in the grand final. It is Canterbury that will reign supreme in 2023. 9 runs to 2. They win the grand final. Just want to make a few thank yous before we duck away. The sponsors that have been looking after the Canterbury Softball Association, as we see out there in the outfield fence, Mizuno, the Christchurch City Council, Smoke Free, Freightworks, the Softball Superstore, New Zealand Community Trust. Fantastic to have their support. Creative Glass, News Talk ZB, and Golden Homes. Thank you so much for your support of this great game of softball in Aotearoa. Canterbury, they find gold in the sunshine on Championship Sunday here in Ōtautahi, Christchurch. On behalf of Bevan Martini, Carl McElroy, Madison Gerbies on the switcher, and our camera people on this one, Kiriyama Watini Taho, and Caitlin Davison, thank you so much for tuning in. Ka kite anō, and the last word, of course, goes to our friend Bevan.
Tēnei te mihi ki a koutou, Karawe, te waihataha, te piki e te maunga teitei, ki a mauta kaura, Karawe. Waia ki ture tapanui o tānei te waiora, tānei te pūkena, tānei te wānanga, tānei te whakaputa nei ki te whai au, ki te ao mārama, tū te nana, tū kamaranga, te tuhi te rarama, tēnei au e noho matāra nei, e rongo whakaere ake ki ronga tūturu witi wakamaua kia teina, haume hui e, tā ki e.